Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshua, Ba'ashem HaKadosh, double honors unto the elder apostles, a great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now, this is about the new rising army of Japan, right? Because the Most High is putting hooks in the mouths of Esau's enemies. And since recently, Japan has been showing their military might because they have signed a declaration that they would never go into war anymore. Wait, I just remembered something. Right, check this out. Now, in Article 9 of the Japanese Constitution, it says, Article 9 of the Japanese Constitution contains no war clause, meaning it came into effect on May 3, 1947, immediately after World War II, because they lost, so-called, right? Because they got bombs dropped on them. Atomic bombs, which have radiation, by the way. The text of the article of the Japanese government formally renounces war as a right of sovereignty and refuses to settle disputes using military force. So they was actually forced to use this. That's why Japan actually doesn't have a standing army. They have a defense system, they call it. Does Japan have a... Japan isn't legally allowed to have a military. Whose law is that? That's the law of these devils. Because they the ones going around talking about, hey man, you can't have no weapons. You can't have no weapons of mass destruction. Only we can have it. You can't have it. You know, that's how they do this. That's what the devil does. Because they unfair. But I'm gonna get that in the scriptures because they devils like that. But the Most High is putting also hooks in the mouths of the jaws of these Japanese people, right? Japan isn't legally allowed. Who the fuck says that? Sorry, let me not cuss. Who the hell says that? Esau did. So-called Caucasian people in America isn't legally allowed to have a military, but Japan has a military, but they have it as a so-called defense. Here, check it out. Culture Japanese self-defense. That's the only thing that they are allowed to call their army. Japanese Self-Defense Forces. The Japanese Self-Defense Forces are also informally known as Japanese Armed Forces. But they can't call it that legally. Are the unified... What? Are the unified the de facto military forces of Japan established in 1954. Article 9 of the Constitution of Japan bans war as a means of settling international disputes and outlaws the maintenance of a military. But they still have it. But they have to secretly call it defense force. They can't call it an actual military because they got to suck up to these devils. But now is the time that the Most High is putting in the spirit of the Japanese people to actually, taunt them in their faces. And I'll get to a few scriptures after that, but let me read this first. Japan's stealth army. Last month, while everyone was, by the way, this is written in 2018, while everyone was distracted by other events, the Japanese government did something rather remarkable. They activated a marine unit. That's against the law, right? Specifically, the Japanese Ground Self-Defense Force activated a 1,500-man unit known as the Amphibious Rapid Deployed Brigade, which is a marine, which is an army for water. The occasion was marked by a ceremony at Sasebo Military Base on the island of Kyushu. Right. If I pronounce it right. It says here, this may not seem particularly newsworthy, After all, the activation, what? The activation of a single Marine brigade would not be a remarkable event in virtually any other country, nation on the planet. But in Japan, where there has not been such a marine activation since World War II, it's extraordinary. Why? Because the Most High is gearing these nations up for war, as it is mentioned in the book of Joel chapter 3. It is mentioned in the book of Isaiah 14. I'm going to get to that. Well, extraordinary, but not unexpected. Why? Because of the things that are going down. Meanwhile, everybody is distracted with other things. Games, movies, just fun, stupid stuff. A party in what's it called in Roman? Popcorn, something like that. Something with party and popcorn and stuff like that. Keep the people happy with the active. What's it called? Bread and circus. It's called bread and circus. You give them food and you give them a show. You know? For what? Well, it shows you. Roman politicians passed laws in 140 AD to keep the votes of poorer citizens to keep the votes of poorer citizens by introducing a grain dole, giving out cheap food and entertainment. Bread and circus became the most effective way to rise to power. Sorry, all you need to do is just feed these dumb people and give them some entertainment. Hot dogs, cheap hot dogs, which is garbage food, man. But anyway, cheap hot dogs and all that type of crazy stuff. They wanted to keep the people busy and happy. Yeah, food and entertainment to keep them busy and happy. You can read the rest if you have the time. I'm going back over here. So they just distracting people while they doing stuff. Now it says here, to anyone who has been paying attention, Japan's definitely not an offensive military. That's sarcastic. Self-defense force, that's what they call it. But this is actually what it is. Offensive. For all intents and purposes, an offensive military in disguise. What's offensive?
Offensive.
Causing someone to actively aggressive attacking. An attacking military campaign. So they are ready to attack. But they wasn't showing it yet. But now it's getting more to the forefront, which shows you that the Most High he's gearing up that game. Man, I can't wait. I'm going to get to the scriptures after this. Discover the truth about Japan's military buildup and what it means for the future of the Asia Pacific in this important edition of the corporate report. Subscribers and stuff like that. Okay, cool, cat. This was a small little thing, right? And now I'm gonna go to the articles. Why Japan's rising sun flag is provoking anger among some of the Olympics, right? Because this flag represents a lot of death, torture, breaking people in pieces. Before Esau dropped bombs on these Japanese people, they was actually terrorizing their neighborhoods, you know? You see these little small motherfuckers. They was terrorizing the rest of the people. This is like a Nazi flag. For example, I think it was Thailand or something like that. Where was it again? South Korea. Yeah. It says here, South Korea asks IOC to ban Japan's use of rising sun flag at the Olympics. Why? Because they terrorized the stuffings out of the South Koreans when they was in power. Like this flag, because I got a quick history about the flag of Japan. The flag of Japan is now this, but it used to be It used to be this with the sun rays browsing off of it and stuff like that. Right, I'm gonna play this video, a little quick history video, and this one you can watch for yourself because it's 9 minutes. But it will explain to you a little bit of the history with military events and all that type of stuff, and why people around Japan do not like that flag that has the sun rays. Like I said, is to be seen by these people as a means of war, and just like basically how the Nazi flag is being seen, you know. Right, so I'm gonna go back to over here. Right, so it says here, fans cheering in the stadium and waving a flag is a staple sight at any international sport event. But what if a flag is so offensive to some countries it sparks a whole movement to get it banned? So, but the point is, of me reading this, the point is this: they are raising this flag again because this flag is associated with military takeovers of these other heathen countries. But Japan is a heathen country themselves also, but it is associated with this, with war, with taking stuff. Before 1945, they had this flag, this flag they had, but then later on it turned into this. By 1974, it turned into this, and then it changed again, but it changed color. It got bright red instead of a little dim red. Right. And basically, this sign is to be seen as a Nazi symbol for the other heathen nations in the Asian Pacific. But they're kind of using this flag again. And now we are in 2022. Why? Because the Most High is gearing the heathen nations that are weak up. He's gearing them up for that Ww3. Man, this is beautiful news. Ooh, spooky. This is dope. The book of Matthew 24, verse 8 says that, let me get that real quick. Matthew 24. Hey, shit, what did I just do? I had Matthew in my head, but but I typed something. Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Right, let me jump to 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? Okay, so he answered, and he said also, verse 6, And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. I can read this too. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and shall deceive many. Okay, I read this already. And that's why the Lord said, see that ye be not troubled when you see these wars and rumors of wars, because this is a rumor of war, because they want to push this thing. But this was mentioned in 2021. So it was a few years after this article popped up, of course. But it's in full effect. It might take years to actually gear up there, because what is the rank of military? Rank has the Japanese army in the world. What rank? 5th. It used to be 8th. Why? Because they got that money. They got that money, and they're putting their money in their what do you call that thing? They're putting their money not in agriculture too much. They're putting their money in army. China is ahead of Japan, so yeah, of course, they literally don't even feed their people over there. Okay, not too much, but their money goes to the army, right? Today, Japan is ranked 5th globally in overall military power after the United States, Russia, China, and India. Yeah, these feces on the beach wiping their ass with their left. 1,200 people poop every day on the beach in India. The toilet beach. I don't want to even show you that, Wait, let me see if it's nasty. Yeah, it's kind of blacked out, you know what I'm saying? This is what they do. They just go on the street, take a shit, take a dump all over the place. This is like all that thing that you see is not plastic, my man. Well, you have plastic among it, but the big drops that you see, like the boulders, those are not stones. Those are not stones. There you can see 4 or 5 people taking a dump in the back. You know, he's being interviewed. When we have the time, we don't mind walking a bit further to find a good spot. Yep, that's what's up. And you gotta understand, these people rule over us. Is not the president of Suriname. Is not the president of Suriname a fucking East Indian? Is not the president of Guyana another motherfucker? These are the motherfuckers that have been put over us. Office of president. I can't go to India and be a fucking president there. That's why when that time comes, we gonna get you too, man. Yeah, y'all got a standing army too. That's beautiful, because the Most High is gonna deal with you. Heavenly Father's gonna deal with you. It's beautiful. This is beautiful. Can't wait for that war. Anyway, so it says here, because if the war comes quick, then my salvation will be quicker. So that's why I want that war to come. Our salvation, actually. I was not being selfish. I was just saying, no. I want to get out of here. The most of these Negroes, they want to stay here. So yeah, referring to them, I will say I want to get out of here. But referring to us as Israelites, I will say we want to get out of here. Yeah, like-minded, right? Japan considered the rising flag part of its history. But some in the Koreas, China, and other Asian countries say the flag is a reminder of Japan's wartime atrocities. Atrocities. And is comparable to the Nazi swastika. That's why the flag is that's why the flag has created anger at the Tokyo Olympics, with some of the host nation's neighbors calling for it to be banned during the games, which officially opened Friday, which was on 2021. So all these things was going down. There's little prospect that ties between Seoul and Tokyo. What? There's little prospect that ties between Seoul or something and Tokyo will improve anytime soon. But the flag dispute may ease. Some experts say the coronavirus restriction that have forbidden spectators at most Olympic venues may prevent the disagreement from growing. Guess what? The restrictions are over, and we in a time right now where you have Taiwan. Most High is funny. Taiwan map. Map. Here, Taiwan. You have Taiwan and China already browsing up, and guess what? Taiwan is here, Japan is here, South Korea is here, because they had a lot of problems. Japan also had created a lot of problems in Japan and Taiwan. I think the Philippines too, and I'm not sure, but I do know the Indonesian people went over here and they murdered a lot of people there with their military. So. But Japan has a lot of enemies here, and that flag is associated with that, because when they used to kill them people, they used to brandish that flag. So that flag is imprinted in their head like a so-called Nazi symbol, whatever, for these devils, like a Nazi symbol for the devils. You know, the Edomites. Anyway, I'm gonna leave the link in the description box, not to make it too long, right? And okay, 2020. Okay, right. This is an article of January 2020. So it says here, but the flag's offensive. Nazi swastika. Critics say the flag is flown by fans who want to romanticize and rewrite the human rights abuses by Japanese forces. Right. South Korea wants it banned at the games, but the 2020 organizers say the flag is widely used in Japan and is not a political statement. Basically, this is how they used to go around killing people. Right, so I'm gonna leave this in the description box. Going on. Japan needs the cyber ministry, former JGSDF Major General. Tokyo needs to establish a cyber ministry to oversee and defend the nation's cybersecurity infrastructure against threats, says Major General Tanaka, whatever, a former commanding general of this thing here, Signal School. Right, so it says here, it has been long. It's not by the way, this is written in 17 September 2022. It has been long said that cyberspace is the fifth battlefield following land, sea, air, and space. Its importance only continues to increase. In the case of Russia's aggression of Ukraine, fake news has become a new bullet, so they acknowledge it, flying around the internet and causing a digital war. The Most High is going against them on all fronts. Digital war, physical war, land, sea, under the ground, everywhere they go, on a historical, unprecedented scale. Yeah, because it was not really in history before that the internet was here and so widely spread throughout the whole world. Everybody can get in connection with each other, and therefore enemies from another state or a country can get in your private business if you are online. And a lot of computers are online, especially major computers in these armies and stuff like that. The screen of each person's smartphone has become one of the main battlefields. That's why they do a lot of stuff on your telephone. Whether it be watching you, whether it be listening to you, whether it be, just anything that you can ever imagine. That you see in the movies like Mission Impossible. I haven't seen Mission Impossible. I saw the first one. I hate that guy, so I didn't watch the rest. I should, because there's a lot of good information in there. A lot of good. That's why I used to watch Bond. Well, that's not why I used to watch Bond. I liked it because I liked the gadgets, but I didn't know that in the future I would actually see them damn gadgets. Just like the Jetsons, the cartoon with the, they have televisions, flat screens coming up out the wall and hanging on the wall, and also phone call, face call. That was in the Jetsons, and I saw that, but I didn't know that it was going to be real. Now I know, and so now when I watch movies, I think like, oh shit, okay, they got that already. Cognitive warfare that manipulates public opinion by pushing an extensive information war is unfolding. Just like how they did with the 9/11. All of a sudden, there were no weapons of mass destruction, but they did gear up the people to go fight. And then when they was done, a lot of people came back and started making YouTube accounts and blasting the war. This is bullshit. All these accounts are gone now. All them soldiers, they're probably dead. Snitching. This cognitive realm is now called the sixth battlefield. So the point of me reading this is showing you that everywhere, just because you don't see them fighting in land, where is it again? On land, sea, air, and space, just because you don't see that, doesn't mean that they ain't fighting. You know what I'm saying? You have the fifth battlefield, which is the internet, but you have the sixth battlefield, which is the battlefield of information, extensive information of changing public opinion. So there's 6 wars right now. The one is in the air, the frequencies. That's the internet, actually, and the other one is the mental of the people, the minds of the people. Right. I'm gonna leave this link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. Japan. Wait, now this is an article of August 2022, and we are in October right now. October 11. Japan weighs up amassing missiles. Let me read that again. Japan weighs up amassing missiles, ramping up cognitive. Let me get this word. Of relating to being or involve conscious intellectual activity. So they know what the hell they're doing. such as thinking, reasoning, or remembering, and they remember the war that they've been to. Cognitive warfare, just conscious warfare capability amid cross-strait tensions. What are the cross-strait? Sorry, what are the cross-strait tensions? Straits is this. Straits is something difficult, a narrow, difficult thing. Is a narrow passage of water. Used in reference. Used in reference to a situation characterized by a specified degree of trouble or difficulty. Tight. They in a tight spot. Draw tight. Draw tight. Aren't they in a tight spot right now? They aren't in a tight spot right now because they have the Chinese threat. They threaten the Chinese and the Chinese are threatening them. They have a lot of troubles going up and down and stuff like that. Hyping national security concerns amid mounting Taiwan Strait tensions. As I just showed you a picture of the land, the lands surrounding Japan and stuff like that. And I mentioned Taiwan. Oh yeah, they saw that. They saw that. So the Most High is gearing them all up into the valley of Yahweh Shabbat, right? The valley of Jehoshaphat, as they call it in English. Japan is reportedly mulling the deployment of more than 1,000 long-range missiles capable of reaching foreign soil in a move to close the missile gap with China, and also ramping up efforts in the cognitive is an irritating word. This a stupid word. It's very irritating. But anyway, cognitive domain to better cope with information warfare launched by enemies. You see, they're already at war, man. Like, it's like before you get into a fight talking shit, then comes the pushing, and then comes the blow. Right? They in the cussing at each other right now, pushing from time to time, but people stepping into it. Because the Most High said in the book of Revelation chapter 7, he said this. Verse 1. And after these I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth. And what were they doing? Holding the four winds of the earth. So why? That the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree, because it will destroy it. Going on. And I saw another angel ascending from the east. That's where Japan is, right? Well, that region. Also Australia. Having the seal of the living power, the living God. And he cried with a loud voice. This does not mean that it's talking about Japan. I'm just using it as the land of the rising sun, which is Japan, which is the east. And the Lord is also going to come from the east. So it has nothing to do with Japan, because it says the Lord shall come from the east. Here, Luke 13. Wait. Yeah, here. Matthew 24 and 27. For as the lightning cometh from out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. The Lord is going to come from the east, and he's going to go to the west, to America, and annihilate them. I can't wait. Having the seal of the living God, power, Yahweh. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels. So the one angel cried to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth nor the sea. Because the angels are holding back the winds, which is the winds of destruction that blow upon the earth, but they're holding it back. But they was actually given the task to go up in the minds of the people and make them go to war. And if you don't believe that, then you need to read the book of, what was it, 1 Kings 22? Was it 1 Kings 22? Yeah, you need to read this. 1 Kings 22, verse 18 until verse 23. You can read the whole chapter if you want to, if you have the time. Verse 3, saying, heard not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, until when? Till we have sealed the servants of our God Yahweh, in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel, and these are men. Now, all 12 tribes will have 12,000 men ready, 144,000. So that's 12 times 12,000. It's 144,000 men. Once these men are sealed, then the winds will be let loose on this planet Earth, and then the destruction will come. But first, these men will be sealed. Need to be sealed. All right, so now going back to over here. Where was I again? Oh, yeah, I already was there. Right. Warfare launched by enemies, which is warfare with the mind and mouth. They're fighting with the mind and mouth, with emphasis on the Chinese language, according to media report. Why? Because they're talking shit about them, and they don't. See, Ammon don't like Moab. See, Moab don't like Ammon. Ammon is Japan. Moab is China. Such moves have been seen by Chinese observers as rather dangerous signals that the incumbent Japanese government is moving further along the route set by the late Japanese Prime Minister Abe Shinzo, right, in his second term, in which the Japanese cabinet constantly floats the China threat theory to serve its political agenda of betraying the path of pacifism. What? I know what it means, but I can't pronounce it. Pacifism, yeah, like you're pacified, like a, how you call it, like a pacifier. This is pacifier is a thing that calms somebody down, like a baby. It's a pacifier. By the way, don't use this. This is plastic. It will destroy your child. You have no idea. You rather use copper, or not the copper. It's too hard for the child. Just use something other than plastic, man. That thing will destroy you. You have glass, little glass floppers and stuff like that. This is good. Yeah, this one. You know, glass is much better. Anything but plastic. I did a video about that, so I'm not going to talk about that right now. I might put the link in the description box if I remember. So going on, after its defeat in World War II, so just like how they are with us, when they see us at the camp, people want to fight us and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they think like, hey, these dudes got Bibles. They ain't attacking. They ain't aggressive. They ain't fighting. No, we're not fighting, but you do have people that sometimes they want to fight us, man. Like, what's wrong with you, man? They really come screaming and shit, like stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, Yahushua really had to compose himself. Like, he could smack the stuffings out of you, and you wouldn't. It would be a surprise to you. Like, what? Often, when people want to fight, and then we square up, and then the first thing that they say is like, hey, ain't you supposed to have the Bible? So in their mind, they'd be like, you're supposed to be pacified, and therefore I can be the tough guy bully, and you can't, because you're a Bible dude. You can't fight back. What's wrong with you? I have often seen that. We have often seen it. I'm not the only one. Ask the brothers, in the camp that I'm at, and that I am in, right? Japan is considering amassing an arsenal of more than 1,000 of its planned long-range missiles. Japan's Yomiuri newspaper reported Sunday, citing unidentified sources with knowledge of the plans. The arms would be stationed mainly around the southern Nasei Islands, and because Japan and China had a little war, and China had a war and rumors of war, conflict about an island. Conflict over island. Which island was it? How many t.v.s countries made it from the history of the Japanese War and the Imperial